Hello everybody, here a new video from Renee from Spain, and in this video I want to show quite a few debut albums of bands that I love, but these are the debut albums they've released, and they're all really good. And for sure most of them you know them, but maybe some you don't, but most of them yes. It's very late now, actually. It's nearly 12 o'clock. I'm drinking now some Radler. It's like a lemon with beer. But I've been drinking quite a few beers tonight. But anyway, and I'm really in the mood to make this video. Some of these are my favorite albums by these bands too. But I will tell you a little bit about them. Let's start with the debut album by Wasp. 1984. Everybody knows this album, but this is my favorite Wasp album. It's like a 10 out of 10. There's not one bad song on here. I mean, there's so many great songs on here. I love it. I'm not going to talk so much about the records because you know all the songs on this album, for example. But this is the Spanish edition on Amy Records, of course, but the Spanish release. It's very simple. It just comes like this and like this. See, it's not much more to show. Even the cage is the original one too, of course, from Amy Records. You can see Amy on there. I Want to Be Somebody, School Days, Sleeping in the Fire, Amazing Ballad, The Torture Never Stops. I mean, it's just an amazing record, of course. Great. Another great album is, maybe not my favorite, I think Land of the Free is probably my favorite. But this is definitely my favorite album with Ralph Sheppers on vocals, you know. This is the debut album by Gamma Ray. It also came out like under the name of Kai Hansen too. But it's more well known as Gamma Ray, you know, the album. This is just a great album. I mean, Heading for Tomorrow is the one that closed this album. It's a very long song, but very good song. Lust for Life is great. Heaven Can Wait. It came out like a single EP type of thing back in '89. I think this was released. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, '89. I have the Noise Records edition here. And this comes with the lyrics too. It's quite a cool thing to see because not a lot of times the tapes, not always they have the lyrics, but this have all the lyrics. This is of course a must-have. Of course, Ralph Sheppers later became the singer of Primal Fear. You know, when he formed Primal Fear together with Matt Sinner. Another great debut album, and I bought this first on vinyl. This is actually one of the first glam metal albums I ever bought. And I'm talking about the debut album by Poison. Look What the Cat Dragged In. I mean, amazing album. Again, my favorite album by the band. Flesh and Blood would be the second favorite. But this one is my favorite. I love the ballad I Won't Forget You. I love that ballad. I love the title track. Cry Tough was a single I like. I Want Action is a great party song. Amazing debut album. Another debut album that I love is the Rat debut album. Full-length album, because they released an EP first. But this is the full-length album. I think I didn't show the inside of this. This is a Spanish edition. Came out on Enigma Records, but in Spain it's Draw released it together with Enigma. So just very simple, but the tape still sounds amazing, you know, after so many years. You know, like tapes was a very good format. But the thing I was showing was this Rat album, and this is Out of the Cellar. Not my favorite album by the band. You know, the next one after this is my favorite of the band. But here we have so many great songs. Round and Round, of course. Lack of Communication is a great song. Back for More. Scene of the Crime, like a deep track, but a really, really good song. This is again a Spanish edition. You know, most of my tapes, you know, are Spanish editions. Very simple, but still sounds very good nowadays. Okay, let's go into the 90s a little bit with Ugly Kid Joe. They released first an EP, and then they released this first full-length album, I think in 92 it was, American Least Wanted. Of course, the song Neighbor was a single. Everything About You was already on the EP, but it was on here too. And here we have a song that Rob Halford sings on too. Again, a cool black tape, 92, yes. And of course, back in the 90s, most of the tapes already had the lyrics. If I'm lucky, I will see this band this summer. I've never seen them, but I always like them. I also have this one on CD actually, but all the rest of the stuff I have it on tape by the band. Next one, great Kill 'Em All, best Metallica album in my opinion. Again, black tape. I don't know where this is from. I think Spain. Yes, again a Spanish edition, but this definitely is a little later edition, and it has the lyrics. There's nothing I have to say about this classic thrash speed metal record. So many great songs on here. Phantom Lord, No Remorse, Metal Militia. I mean, just great. A newer thing I want to show too a little bit. It's the first album by Hitten, when they still had Aitor on vocals. And this came out, I think, I'm not going to say when, because if I don't see it, I'm not sure. 2014. And this is a Thai edition from Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Great new wave of traditional heavy metal from Spain. I like everything these bands have released till now. They got 4 albums out, but they are recording right now the new one, you know, the 5th album. Hitten with First Strike with the Devil. Another favorite album by mine, I mean, the debut album by the new wave of British heavy metal band Raven, Spanish edition. El Poder del Heavy. This is the special series of stuff that came out in the 80s under the El Poder del Heavy. They were selling these tapes at petrol stations, record shops too, but more at markets, flea markets, you know, markets where they were selling tapes. They were selling this stuff too back then. I really like this looking, the way this tape looks. And this is my favorite Raven album. Hard Ride, Rock Until You Drop, you know, Lambs to the Slaughter. Great song. Very simple done. But this tape, after so many years, 81, you know, it came out this tape. But I think this is actually a re-release, El Poder del Heavy, you know, this from 86. And of course, Rock Until You Drop. Another great album, my favorite album by this band. They have four albums in total. Britney Fox, amazing debut album from 88 with Girls' School was a single. Goodbye to Jane I liked. In America, Goodbye to Jane I think was the Slade song. Kick and Fight, Save the Week. Again, Spanish edition. Very simple. Again, like all these Spanish editions were really simple. But yeah, sounds great. That's what counts. The sound is great. Here we have a Spanish band, the debut album. The debut album by Ángeles del Infierno. They also call them the Spanish Judas Priest sometimes. They were definitely on a very big label, VA label. But this is VA Latina, but it's actually made, I think, in America, in North America, but for the Latino market. It's a little strange, but they were quite popular, very popular in South America, but also in Los Angeles, where there's a lot of South American people living. They were very popular there, and they played quite a few times in Los Angeles. Debut album by Bon Jovi. I mean, great songs like Runaway, Roulette, She Don't Know Me, Shot Through the Heart. It's actually a deep track again. Shot Through the Dark. 84 Spanish edition. Super simple, but very cool. And the last one, it's a white metal release, a Christian band. I'm talking about Deliverance. Thrash metal, pure like Slayer worshippers, but with Christian lyrics. Deliverance on Intense Records. I bought this in Hungary in the 90s. In Budapest, I bought this tape at the Christian bookstore, where they had a lot of Christian metal tapes, and I bought Tourniquet, Sacred Warrior, and a lot of different bands. Here we have this pastor. He always had a little something to say. This Pastor Bob. And here we have the lyrics, very small, definitely big glasses to be able to see it. And just great thrash metal. I really love this album. The demo and this debut album is my favorite Deliverance stuff. Okay, I hope so. You like this, guys. You like these tapes that I showed, all debut albums that I love by these bands. And stay metal, everybody.